Look how cool the moss is on these trees. A big thing for me on this hunt in particular is that it really brings me back to nature. Like, it really sets me in my roots. It's a really, really tough climb. It's a hard hike, but it's so rewarding in that it's so scenic once you get up there and so remote. I mean, you guys saw the road coming in. It's already way out here and way remote. And then you gotta climb tons of elevation and just get yourself way lodged out there. It's so far that it wouldn't really make a realistic day hike. You couldn't hike in and hike out in one single day. You gotta camp up there. And that's something that I love about it. So you'll notice I stripped off my outer shell, and that's because you're gonna get wet regardless. Like there's no real avoiding it. I could either put the shell on and sweat and get soaked from the inside out, or I can wear this kind of jacket and you'll see that like the water runs right off. It doesn't really soak in. It's not entirely waterproof. It is a little bit permeable, but for the most part you can shake it off. But these are designed to take the wetness from the inside, work it to the outside, and then as you're moving, it's just burning right off you and you're getting dry. So since I'm being so active, I'm actually actively drying what little rain is actually soaking through and all the sweat from my body that's soaking the shirt underneath. When I get up there and I start being really inactive, that's when I'm gonna want to put on the shell, because I'm gonna be just sitting and scoping and looking for deer that way. Just look how beautiful it is out here, guys. So there's a chance, although it's kind of, we're in a little pocket here, some blue skies, but see that ridge? I'm actually gonna be way up on top of that ridge, even further back. So I gotta get all the way through all this and I'll be way up there. So I'm not even halfway there yet. And I've been hiking for quite a while. Yeah, it's a hike, that's for sure. Whew, it's a hot, wet, muggy hike. It's just beautiful. God, I hope just for the video's sake, the sun comes out like this for a little while, because it is just so beautiful up there. And then our footage won't have to be this foggy, wet mess. It's almost impossible to walk through an area like this and not wonder if there's something out there looking at you, watching you from a distance, whether it's a person or an animal or something. I mean, it's just so remote out here and the wilderness is so vast. You know, when I get to the meadow up ahead, I want to talk about something scary. Oh, it's a deep burn. Ah, man. So the incline has really picked up and I'm trying to keep up the pace because I got quite a ways to go. It's starting to get really, really wet. I'm gonna run out of daylight if I can't make it. Working super hard. I don't want to take the pack off and I don't really want to stop, to be honest, because if I stop for too long, then all the pain starts to set in. You start to really feel the burning in your legs. I'm just stopping real quick to sort of let my heartbeat slow down. Woo, feels good to find some water. Doesn't get any fresher. That is fresh rainwater. It's been cascading down the mountain, picking up lots of minerals and probably viruses along the way. I think it'll be fine. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm really struggling with this elevation gain. I mean, I can only make it like 25 feet at a time before I have to stop. It's embarrassing. My legs are burning, and I counted my heart rate just a moment ago, and it was pushing 160, which is pretty incredibly high. I think I'm hydrated enough. It's just a really grueling hike on the worst conditions. I mean, it's just just sloppy mud. Oh God. It's like a never-ending stair stepper. One thing that really sucks about this trail is that it's a horse trail, so horses come and go on there, and they just destroy the path. They just make it slop for everyone else. Now, if I had a horse, I would totally be on it, but I don't. And so I get to walk through the slop. There's two principles of thought. One, the more I eat, the more carbs and sugar I eat, the more energy I'll have. But in reality, eating those 6 cheeseburgers might have screwed me over, because when you eat a bunch of food, your stomach needs blood to digest it and energy. And so a bunch of blood pools to your stomach and your internal organs, which pulls it away from your extremities, making you more tired, of course. But then when you exercise, your body stops digesting because you need, you're moving and it needs that blood somewhere else. And so you end up with this lump of food in your stomach and you feel sick. Your body doesn't know where to put the blood, and you kind of get yourself in a situation where you just feel gross. So I don't know, but it does feel good to sit down and eat a cookie. Man. It feels so good to stop and sit down. It's so bad. But this is part of why we're doing this. Like, it's actually really therapeutic to work so hard and be so miserable and so wet that when you stop, it feels like you're high. It feels really good. Just look how vast this beautiful forest is. You cannot tell me that Bigfoot's not out there. Bigfoot's gotta be out there. You know what? I believe. Check this out. The last mile or so was just all switchbacks. We were just down there not too long ago. And oh God. And I still gotta get up on top of that ridge. Ooh, beautiful. Oh, good. This is nice. So this marks like the final last hard leg of the hike. I still need to get way up there, but something about seeing this meadow just brings you a bunch of energy. Last year was really green. Lots of really beautiful windy creeks and beds in there. But from here on out, I need to be pretty quiet, because these ridges up here are where the mule deer hang out. On the note of Bigfoot, I mean, the legend has it that he's out in these kinds of woods in western Washington or the Pacific Northwest. I mean, it's one of the main areas that has just a super vast forest that hasn't really been fully explored. It's truly a rainforest. And I'm just regurgitating all of this from Joe Rogan's podcast, but the only theory that really holds up I found was pretty interesting. And it was that there is a known species called the Gigantopithecus from Southeast Asia. And they discovered this thing because they found a tooth. And they went back to where the people found the tooth and they dug up remains. They were primate remains, and they dubbed it the Gigantopithecus. And this was a real life thing, like relatively speaking, not that long ago. But Bigfoot is a myth about a giant ape-like creature in the Pacific Northwest. So how did it get from Southeast Asia to here? Well, at one point there was a land bridge. Maybe it came across that way, and this is exactly where it would lead. And it could be hidden in these forests right here, adapted specifically to hide from humans. I just thought that to be a super interesting theory. So we'll be on the look for Bigfoot while we're out here. This valley, I actually wanted to fly a paramotor up here. Thought it'd be a really cool way to skip this hike. Now I don't think I would be able to carry this much gear on a paramotor, but you can see it wouldn't have been possible. It's all socked in by clouds. But to be able to fly in, land in this valley, and then hike up to the high hunt, legally speaking, I could do it as long as I hunted the next day. Be pretty rad. It's funny, almost like clockwork. This exact spot last time, I got really bad leg cramps and had to sit down, and it was just a huge struggle to get them to stop. I've had to just stop because my legs are cramping really bad, which sucks. Okay. And then right here, I mean, my legs are better, but they're starting to cramp. And so I'm curious if like a couple hundred more yards, if they're gonna lock up just like they did last year. I'm assuming I have a little bit more endurance, because last year I was only like 6 months post-operation on my knee, and so my legs were really, really scrawny. And this year, I feel like I have more endurance and a lighter pack. But it's funny that they're cramping up already. Not already, I mean, this is like the last part of the journey. This is where they should cramp. There's just something badass about gathering your own water straight off the hill. I mean, it just feels so good, like so close to nature, you know? And sure, there's a risk involved, but I'll take a bout of diarrhea, a possible bout of diarrhea over leg cramps any day. Okay, so I'm way up on top of the ridge here. This is the area that we'll actively hunt, and I can pretty much expect to run into my hunting partner anywhere along this ridge. Once I get to a good like checkpoint or landmark, I'm gonna call him up on the radio, let him know where I'm at. There's like a big quail on the trail. It's a trail quail, guys. Trail quail. Be some good food. God, I wish I had Carol. Oh, Carol would so fuck you up right now. What are you doing? Just fly away. Oh, you're dumb. You're a dumb chicken. You're a dumb mountain chicken. This sign here is where I met him last time. So I actually haven't dropped my bag yet. I'm gonna drop my bag and try to find my radio. Okay, I found it. Remind me in the comment section below not to stuff my radio into my backpack next time. Greg, come in. Now he should be expecting me about this time. So hopefully he's got his radio on. Inside my tent now, we got it all set up. Whew, it's wet and freaking freezing cold. I got a nice meal to eat in here somewhere. And the tent is semi-permeable. When big drops hit it, I can feel splatter. Hopefully that's just condensation and I don't wake up in a big puddle. But that's it for today. Tomorrow we'll start actively hunting. Hopefully we get something, but for now I'm gonna get some sleep. So get some work done this week.